Who the F was I dating part 1. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys my most recent dating story because it's just so hilarious. So a little bit of a backstory. I moved to Charleston from Colorado just a little bit ago. And I came to Charleston to visit my best friend. She lives here. That's why I moved here in the first place, was because she was here. So I came and visited her. I met this guy, and we started talking. I went back to Colorado, and we continued to talk, and he was like, I'm going to fly out to see you. And I was like, okay, like, he's trying. He's putting in effort. He wants to fly out and come and see me. This is perfect. So this man flies all the way from South Carolina to Colorado. We spend the week together. It's great. He comes back, like, we FaceTime each other every night. We call each other every morning. It's perfect. And then again, he's like, I want to come and see you again. So he flies out to Colorado again. So this is 2 times that this man has flown across the country to come and see me. South Carolina to Colorado. It's not a short flight. It's very long. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this is serious. Like, you don't fly out to see a girl if you don't want something serious. Like, you don't spend that money. You don't spend that time. You don't put in that much effort, right? Wrong. So he comes and sees me for the second time. After he leaves, it's about 3 weeks until I'm going to move to South Carolina. So once I move, like, we're going to be living by each other. We're going to be living in the same city. Like, we can see each other whenever we want. Like, we got through, like, the 2 or 3 hard months of being long distance. Like, we were about to make it. And then he flies back home after coming to see me for the second time and gets so weird, stops calling me, stops FaceTiming me, barely texts me like every 5 to 6 hours. I'm like, what is going on? Mind you, he doesn't say anything. He just lets this go for like a week. Me, I'm like, no. So I'm like, what's going on? And he calls me and he's like, I just like don't want anything serious. Boy, you just flew from South Carolina to Colorado, not once, but twice to see me, and now you don't want anything serious? He's like, I think I just want to be friends. Like, I just want to be friends. Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't know if I'm the only one, but I cannot just, like, be friends with a guy I wasn't friends with in the first place. Like, we were never friends. Like, it was strictly more than that. And he was like, I was like, so this is over? And he's like, no, like, you can't end something that it never, like, we were never together. I'm like, we pretty much were dating just without the label. Like, you don't fly to go and see somebody twice if it's not something more serious, right? So I'm like, okay, well, like, I can't make talk, like, I can't be friends with you. And he's like, no, like, I want to be friends, like, I have to talk to you, like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So we continued to talk, and then I told him once, like, I can't do this anymore, I can't talk. And then he would freak out and call me and be like, no, like, I still want to be friends, I still want to talk. And I'm like, it got so draining because I'm like, what is this? Like, he would still, like, start to call me again and be like, good night, I just wanted to say good night, good morning, blah, blah. I'm like, this is so weird. Like, you don't do this to somebody you're friends with. Like, I don't talk to my guy friends every day like that. Like, I don't know, it was weird. Anyways, I'm on my way to South Carolina. I'm driving here, and the whole time he's like, I'm so excited to see you. I can't wait to see you. And I'm like, oh, like, maybe once I get there, it'll be fine. Like, you know, he just freaked out when I was long distance, and we'll be fine. So we hung out. Mind you, the few times we hung out when he was here, it was not friendly. Like, he was staying the night. Like, yeah. And so it wasn't like he was just, like, coming over to hang out as a pal. Like, he was staying the night. And even then, he was terrible. Like, we literally both lived in Charleston. Well, he lived in Beaufort, but he worked in Charleston. So he was driving up here every single day. And he would just, like, make excuses. Like, I'd be like, oh, like, let's hang out after work today. And he would call me and be like, well, I got off. And I'd be like, oh, like, can you just wait 30 minutes? I'll be off. He's like, no, I'm going home. I can't wait 30 minutes. Okay. The next day, I was like, hey, can you come up? And, like, or he's like, but I'll come up tomorrow and see you. And then tomorrow would come, and then he would be like, make an excuse, like, oh, it's raining. Like, I can't come and hang out in the rain. Boy. And then the next day, he's like, but I'll come up tomorrow. And then Sunday rolls around, and he calls me in the morning, and he's like, okay, like, I'm about to leave. Like, I'll come soon. And I'm like, okay, great. Perfect. It's like an 1.5-hour drive, so I'm got ready. I'm waiting on my couch for him to show up. It's been like 2 hours. Haven't heard from him, so I text him. I'm like, are you almost here? Like, and he calls me, he's like, sorry, I'm not coming anymore. I'm like, I've been ready, waiting for you, and you never said anything. Like, that's absurd to me. And he was like crying on the phone. He's like, I'm so sorry, I'll come see you tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So he comes the next day and sees me, and he tells me, he's like, I'm moving to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And like, blah, 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 blah. But like, I want you to come out and see me. I'm like, you can't even make this work being in the same state, in the same city. Like, this is not gonna work with you moving to another state. Like, what? And so I texted him another day and was like, oh, like, me and my roommate, like, we're gonna go to church in the morning, and then we're gonna go to the beach. Like, do you want to come up and hang out with us? Like, it's like one of your last days here. And he like didn't answer. And so I texted him again. I was like, you know what, never mind, don't worry about it. And he calls me, and he's like laughing. He's like, sorry, like, I never saw your text. I'm like, yes, you did. He's like, no, I didn't see it. I'm like, you literally have your read receipts on. Like, I know you saw my text right as I sent it, and you just decided not to answer. Like, don't lie about it. Like, my biggest thing is being lied to. Like, he could have just said, like, oh, I didn't know if I could. That's why I didn't answer. No, he lied about it. Come to find out, he's like already on Hinge in Chattanooga. Like, he's already talking to girls there. I'm like, this is crazy. And so, yeah, I pretty much just told him that this isn't gonna work anymore for me, and haven't talked to him since. But yeah, that was my dating story. If there's any men in Charleston that want to prove to me that they're not all like that, please come find me.
I am gonna do a quick story time of how I found out that my ex was cheating on me. So we were together for about 4 years, and in 2023, May of 2023, I found out that he was cheating on me for the first time. I wasn't ready to leave. I wasn't ready to walk away. I was so codependent on this person. So I stayed. In May of 2023, my friend invited us to her sister's graduation party, and him and I went. And I love to dance. Like, I love to have fun. I love to dance, sober or not. Voy a sacar mis pasos prohibidos. So he was very much Acedo vibes. He didn't like to dance. My friend was really good about like, hey, let's go dance. And hasta le preguntaba a él like for permission in a way. In a sense, she would ask him like, hey, is it okay if I take her away for a little bit? We're gonna go dance. And he was like, yeah, like, that's fine. But I could sense that he was upset. I can tell that he was unhappy. And I would like, fair, I would be upset if it was the other way around. But I would invite him to go dance. He was just not having it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was having the time of my life. While I'm dancing, I'm like looking in his direction, and I could see that he's like texting somebody, and I'm like, oh, who are you texting? Because I'm right here. And I'm like, like, I'm paying no mind. Like, I keep a mental note, but I'm like, he's probably texting his friends that he's bored or whatnot. A girl's intuition is always right. So when we get home, he's pretty much like passes out right away, because he's like, we were drinking, so he knocked out. And my heart was to my ass when I wanted to go through his phone. And this is like the first time in 4 years that I like went through it. Something told me, like, something just wasn't sitting right with me, that said like, you need to go through his phone. And I grabbed his phone. I just went through it. And yeah, I saw things that I didn't want to see. I saw him just flirting with girls, swiping up on their pictures, commenting on their pictures, DMing them. He was texting a lot of girls that he worked with, so his coworkers, and just saying inappropriate things. And what I did was, I took pictures of everything on my phone. I took pictures, and I went to sleep. Didn't say anything, because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to walk away. At the end of August, I was doing homework. I was over at his house. It was my first year of my graduate program, so I was busy all the time. And he was playing video games. It was his day off. It was a weekday. From the mirror, I get a glimpse of him texting somebody, and it was he hearted the messages, and I was like, Okay, what guy friend are you hearting their messages? Like, I get it. I heart my friends' messages, but what guy friend are you really hearting messages? Like, that's weird. That's sus. I've never seen that. and, and that just brought some alarms up. He's like, I'm gonna take a nap. And I'm like, hey, trying to see if he's awake. Hello. And he was dead asleep. So, because he was drinking since it was his day off. So I was like, okay, perfect timing. I grabbed his phone. I was like, all right, if I see something that I don't like again, I'm leaving. And the same females that he was messaging in May, he was still messaging. So he built pretty much an emotional attachment. And he was telling these girls, sending them hearts, telling these girls good night, good morning, get home safe, good to see you at work, and like just flirting. I don't just flirting. And there was a few instances where he would tell me like, hey, I have a work event, and I'm like, all right, have fun, whatever, it's a work event. And then in the messages I find out that he was going out with these coworkers, female coworkers, and alone. And then another time he told me like, I'm gonna go on a run. And I'm like, great, toodaloo, have fun. And and apparently he was going out on runs with females, and I was like, okay, interesting. Not only was he building this emotional attachment with these females, but it was also physical. And that just, for me, cheating is just, that's a boundary that cannot be crossed. And he knew that was a boundary because that happened in my previous relationship, and he still crossed that boundary. So knowing that, knowing everything, I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. So I packed everything. It was like 8 or 9 p.m. I'm like sobbing. My bags, I packed. I had my work bag, I had my backpack. And mind you, he's like still sleeping, fast asleep. And I wake him up because I'm like closing the door, about to leave. And I'm like getting my backpack ready, like about to leave. And he wakes up like all startled, and he's like, where are you going? And I was like, and then he sees my face, like I'm like sobbing, and I'm like, I'm leaving. And he's like, why? He's like, what happened? And I'm like, I went through your phone. And he's like, well, what do you see so I can clear it up for you? And I'm like, what are you gonna clear up? Like, I saw what I needed to see. This man was gaslighting the fuck out of me. I asked him questions like, who did you go run with this day? And he's like, nobody. He's like, stay, come on, let's talk about it. I was like, no, like, I'm gone. And he grabbed me. He grabbed my hand. He didn't let me go. He grabbed my hand. He pushed me to the bed, and he wanted a cuddle. This man, after I tell you, I saw your phone, I know you're cheating on me, he wants to cuddle me. So now I'm pissed. Now I'm not sobbing. Now I'm upset. Like, ew, you're gross. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. His bed was like atrancado al wall. So I'm trying to leave. He's not letting me go. So he throws me, when he pushes me, he throws me on the side of the wall, the bed close to the wall. And the tanto that I'm rejecting him, he pushes me and my face smacks the wall. When I'm getting up, the gaming chair that he had where he was sitting down, where I call him cheating, the gaming chair was in the way. So I'm like trying to leave, walk away, stand up, whatever. And he holds me, he pulls me down, and the chair was like in my way. So when he tries to pull me to sit down on the bed, I actually like stumble and I fall. I'm sobbing again. And I'm like, how could you do this to me? Like, I can't believe it. I've always been nothing but faithful to you. And he's like, stay. I'm like, no. And now he gets mad. He's like, if you walk away, if you leave, we're done. And I was like, bye. He gets up, he slams the door behind me, and I'm like sobbing. And yeah, that's pretty much the story of how I got cheated on.
Don't know what is possessing me to get on the internet and tell my business, but I feel like it today, so I'm gonna tell the story of the time that I caught my D1 athlete boyfriend cheating on me. This story is years old, and I'm really telling it because, one, it's now funny, and two, just a reminder to trust your fucking gut and trust your intuition, because you're right every single time. Rewind to my senior year of high school / freshman year of college. Senior year, committed to the school that I was going to be swimming at. Boom. Immediately, basketball player committed to the same school messages me. Should have been red flag number one, but again, I really didn't know about the whole athletes not being shit thing. Shoot me. He messages me. We immediately like hit it off, FaceTime. We start going on dates. Looking back, I was 1000% being love bombed. Didn't even know what love bombing was. Again, you live and you learn. Because in like a week of texting and calling, he told me he loved me. It's like, I love you too. But anyways, things were going well and asked me to be his girlfriend so early on. Like, it did not take long at all, but I'm like, you know what, this is go with the flow. He's selling this dream of like, we're gonna be the athletes at the school together, we're gonna be that athlete couple, this and that. Again, I'm just fucking dumb. Like, this story is me being dumb as fuck because there were so many signs. Let's start with sign number one. This was probably a few months into us dating. I got surgery on my breast because I had a tumor, gotten it removed. I kid you not, 3 days post-op, he decides to pick me up and we decide to hang out. He wants to do like painting outside. He was really artsy and creative and shit. So picks me up. We go to the store to get canvases and painting supplies and go in the store. And on the way into the store, this girl like is stopping and staring really hard. And I was just kind of like thrown off by it. And so then she immediately comes up to him and asks like, who's this, talking about me? And he was like, my girlfriend, and then proceeds to walk into the store. So I'm like, okay, probably a fanned out girl. I'm stupid. We leave the store, we come out. This girl is waiting by the car. She's waiting by the car and she's on the phone with somebody. Don't know who she's on the phone with. And she seems hostile. And so he's just telling me to like get in the car. I get in the car. We drive. We leave the store parking lot. We get to the intersection. I kid you not. This same girl starts banging on his window at the stoplight in a fucking intersection on a busy road. Banging on his window, on the phone with somebody, screaming and yelling about something. So, like, obviously my adrenaline kicks in because I'm like, what is going on? Like, my heart starts beating. Mind you, I'm bandaged up. So, like, in no way, shape, or form can I defend myself because I'm stitched up. Like, so now we're driving and this girl proceeds to get in the car behind us. Car starts driving. Car's now chasing us. Car's chasing us and throwing bottles of things at his car. Gatorade bottles, vitamin water bottles at his car. So he eventually pulls into a neighborhood and like gets out the car and like threatens the fuck out of them, like tells them to leave us alone. So he gets back in the car. Obviously me shaken up. I'm like, what was that? He's like, nothing, crazy X. Again, me being dumb. I'm like, okay. That story is extremely imperative to now fast forward. So basically after that, our relationships kind of started going downhill because he went to school. If you know, you know, basketball players have to go to college early because they start practicing and they have to live on campus and get adjusted. It's this whole thing. As soon as he goes to campus is when shit starts getting weird. Communication starts going down. I start having the craziest dreams, like on some witch shit, like psychic vivid dreams of him literally cheating. I'm like, I just had this dream that you're cheating with someone on campus, you're doing this, you're doing that. Another thing is he never wanted me to come to campus. He always wanted to come to me. Like if we were going to do a date night or hang out or do something, he would always come here. And I'm like, why can't I come to, like, mind you, our school is 10 minutes away. 10 minutes away. We both are from here. The school was 10 minutes away. So I'm like, why can't I come up there? Like, what's the problem? He came up with all these excuses of like, oh, like, we're not allowed to have people in the dorms and this and that. My coach said this. Guys, I hate telling this story because it's so embarrassing on my end. Because I'm just going for all of it. But eventually, like, things get bad to where, like, communication's just terrible. We're arguing a lot. I keep having these dreams. I keep asking him, is there somebody else? He's like, no. So, boom. One day, I don't know what, I'm on Instagram going through my explore page, kid you not, picture of a girl in these dorms comes up. Now, hold that thought. 2 problems. I'm going to the same school, so I know what the fuck the dorms look like. 2, this girl did not go to Butler. So I was like, And it's crazy because they were living in dorms separated by grade. Her pictures were in the freshman dorms. Now, there were only, I think, 4 freshman players in that class. So that could mean that she belongs to one of those 4 people. I'm pretty sure 2 of them had girlfriends. So now that leaves 2. my boyfriend and somebody else. And like, it's just one of those things where it's like gut feeling. Looks at her page, they don't follow each other, which I was like, okay. So then I end up sending it to him, and I was like, do you know who this is? Like, these are the dorms. She's like, he comes up with this whole story of like, that's my teammate's girl. She was there trying to fuck with like one of my teammates, blah, blah, blah. Like, just this whole thing. And I'm just like, my dumb ass was like, okay. Now, fast forward to the part where he actually got caught. Mind you, at this point, it's been months of me having terrible dreams, crying almost every night, feeling like shit, communication terrible. Fast forward, we finally get on campus, right? So I'm on campus. I'm with my teammates, meeting my teammates, excited to be on campus and all that. So I start filling my teammates in on what's going on, because I'm like, my boyfriend plays on the basketball team. This is him, XYZ. We've been having these issues. Boom, boom, boom. I showed them the post of the girl that posted in the dorm. I'm telling them all this stuff, and they're like, that's fishy. Kid you not. 2 days later, I am, I think, leaving practice of something of the sorts, and 2 of my teammates went to a Trippie Redd concert. Right. Mind you, they know what my boyfriend looks like because I showed them. Go to a Trippie Redd concert, kid you not, start getting snaps from my teammates of my boyfriend and another girl at the fucking concert. So at this point, I'm heated, fuming, pissed, and I go back to the post and I stalk the girl's page, and I see that she has this really distinct tattoo, right? Go back to the snaps my teammate sent me. She has that same tattoo. So I'm like, oh, 2 + 2 is 4. 4 + 4 is 8. Got it. Mind you, I have video proof. Like, you're cheating, you're caught, you're done. So I take all of his shit that I had, bag it up. Mind you, I lived in the dorm above him. We lived 1 floor apart. Take all his shit, bag it, throw it at his front door. Didn't give a fuck. But I didn't tell him. I don't know how I went about this. I didn't tell him that I knew, because I wanted to like pop up on him and surprise him. Because I knew if I told him like, hey, I caught you, he would avoid me at all costs. So I pretend to be like, oh, like, hey, can I borrow something, on some chill shit? He's like, oh yeah, come down. Boom, opens the door. I get on his ass. I'm showing him the video and the pictures. I'm like, so you've been cheating. Caught you. This man is still denying it. He's like, no, that's my friend. Like, I would never cheat. Like, you're getting mad about something that's not true. You don't even know the full story. And I'm like, you're fucking cheating. Like, what the fuck? So after that, I just left, and that was that. Never really spoke to him or interacted with him. Will say though, after I caught him, I kid you not, the school we went to, our campus was small, so of course our business got spread across campus, and he's telling his teammates one story. He's telling his teammates that I'm this crazy ex and I'm obsessed and all these extra things to cover his ass. And so, I kid you not, as our business is getting spread, more women are coming to me. So not only was this motherfucker cheating and had like a whole other girlfriend, he was cheating really on the both of us. So yeah, after that, I realized, okay, so when you have dreams, trust your gut. And yeah, athletes aren't shit. Crazy story time. No, I'm dumb. It's just funny to talk about and think about. But yeah, I haven't spoke to that man in years. Don't know what he's doing. Don't care. But it's kind of just like, damn, that really did happen.
Reading your anonymous confessions. Y'all know what time it is. I'm getting the iPad out. I'm going to start reading your confessions. If you want to submit one, go to my page. Link in bio. There's a link tree. If you click on that at the top, there will be a thing that says anonymous confessions. Click on that and you can submit. And people have been asking a lot recently if they're anonymous. Like fully, yes. It doesn't ask for an email, it doesn't ask for your name, it doesn't ask for anything. I literally cannot see who these are coming from. Okay, first one. Once in the girls' wardrobe after PE, I had just showered and was fully naked, and someone opened the door to leave, and my crush was right outside and saw me fully naked. Whoever left while you were just out in the open naked is fake as fuck. Sorry you went through that. This one says, when I was in middle school, I had a girlfriend and a guy best friend. I'm a girl. I cheated on the girl by having PS with the guy, and she tried telling the whole school I cheated, so I turned it around and told everyone she cheated. She's homeschooled now and everyone forgot about it. I've said it once and I've said it again. I don't fuck with cheaters. This was in middle school, so I guess you can be a little bit forgiven because hopefully you're older now and you've grown and you've changed, but I don't fuck with cheaters. This one says, I was at my ex's parents' wedding and we were all dancing, and I was stood in front of my boyfriend at the time and his step cousin grabs his hand and starts dancing with him. He goes in and kisses her right in front of me, not a smooch, but a full-on kiss. And then I continue to stay with him for 6 months after that. And then 6 days after our 3-year anniversary, he leaves me and starts talking to a new girl the day after. So fun. Okay, step cousin, crazy work. The fact that he did that in front of you, crazy work. The fact that you stayed, crazy work. Again. Everybody, stand up. I'm sick of it. All of you keep being like, oh, my boyfriend cheated on me, I stayed. Get out of there. I'm glad you're safe now and you're away from that situation. But everybody who keeps submitting these saying they stayed, stand up. Realize your worth. The next one says, when I was 9, I had Roblox in Toca right? So I'm assuming that meant and. So one day I decided to buy a pack from Toca not expecting it to work. I didn't know why I even did this, but like it was just for like a joke. But for some reason I went through and checked the car on my iPad and had nothing. Like there's no card on it. So I was confused, but I was dumb. Okay, so I just kept on spending money. So I was stacked on Roblox in Toca had all of like the game passes and everything, and in total spent $600 in one day. When I got picked up from school, my mom said we needed to talk, and basically it was my older brother's card. Then I got my iPad taken away for like 2 years and couldn't play Roblox for 2 years as well. And that's how I committed fraud as a dumb 9-year-old. You just wanted those Robux and that Toca money or whatever. I respect it, but that's crazy that you spent $600, and I feel bad for your brother. I hope that he was able to get his money back because that's crazy. This one says, when I was in 7th grade, I liked a guy and told my friend about him. My friend was like, hey, I'm friends with him. I'll tell him if you want. And I said yes, but he went to the wrong guy. Same first name, wrong guy. So I dated a guy that I didn't even like for 2 weeks until I broke up with him because I saw him kissing a 9th grader. I wish younger me had just been honest from the get-go. That's actually kind of funny, and like I feel bad that you're just like, well, I guess I have to deal with this now. But you know, your friend had spirit. At least he was trying to help you out. He just had the wrong bitch. When I was a kid, I was super sensitive and shy and would cry really easily, mostly between ages 8 and 13. And it got to a point where my teachers would get so freaking fed up with me that when I'd cry, they'd roll their eyes and sigh. And my year 6 teachers would just ignore me. Well, on the last day of primary school, which is age 11, I heard my teachers in the classroom saying how I'm definitely going to cry at the end of the day and discussing what to do with me. So my petty eye went out of my way not to cry. When we were told we can go home, I just walked past and watched them look confused, lol. There's nothing wrong with being emotional, but I hope that you're able to regulate your emotions a little better now. And you know what? Good for you for being like, fuck you hoes, I'm not gonna cry today. And guess what? You did it. Next one says, this isn't really a confession, but I have an older brother, and when we were younger, he had psychopathic tendencies, which were very obvious to everyone around us. Anyway, point is, he sexually abused me for 3 years straight. It's almost 10 years ago now, and we talk like nothing ever happened. I will never be able to call him my brother, but I forgave him. Not because I understand his intentions, but just a little bit of his motives. We've had a very rough life growing up, so I guess that was his way of dealing with everything. I was not expecting that. I'm very sorry this happened to you. I hope that both of you are healing, and that especially you, obviously, like, you have been able to get through this. And if you have the opportunity to, that you're able to like talk to a therapist or somebody about that. I'm very, very sorry this happened to you. You are very strong for telling this, and also you are very strong for forgiving him, because a lot of people would not have been able to do that. I'm wishing you the best, genuinely. This next one says, when I was like 8, I took a bro, what a fucking crazy turn of events. I'm sorry. Just the last one, and then cutting into, I took a shit in my room because I was scared to go downstairs, but then I didn't know where to put it. So I put it down this hole in my floorboards in my room, and like 3 months later, my mom was hovering my room and she found it, but it was a rock and she didn't know what it was. And her and my stepdad questioned me about it, and I had to tell them what I did. Why were you scared to go to the bathroom at 8 years old? I mean, I get, like, it was in the middle of the night. Understandable, but still, I feel like I would have just held it, or just like hurry up and ran downstairs to go to the bathroom instead of pooping in the floorboards. I'm glad that they found it though, and it didn't just like sit there forever. But I'm just imagining you having to like tell them that you shit in your floorboards. Crazy. When I was 13, I had this boyfriend, and we did the deed one night, and it became a regular thing till one day we did it and I got pregnant, which obviously was a problem because I was 14 at this point. I didn't know what to do, so I just told my mom. And my mom faked a whole pregnancy and hid mine so she could pretend to my dad, who was in the hospital with terminal illness, that it was his baby, and he really believed it. To this day, everyone believes that my baby boy is my mom's son, and he doesn't even know, and he is 17 now. Should I tell him? I don't know if I'm buying this, because that would mean you're like fucking how old now? Like 30 something. and I don't have a lot of followers in their 30s, and also this is kind of written like a child, but we're gonna say that it's real. This sounds like the plot of Andy Mack, low-key. I feel like that's a talk that you need to have with your mom as well, because she had to take care of this child for you. So I think, you know, obviously the kid deserves to know, but at the same time, you can't make that decision on your own. Your mom had to raise it for you and is like the child's mother, like not biologically maybe, but you know what I'm saying. So I think that's not a decision you can make on your own, and that's something you have to talk to her about. I don't know how bad this is, but when I was younger, my stepdad would annoy me. I'd put his toothbrush in the toilet and rub it on the underneath of the seat. I also got into a fight with my brother once, so I did the same, but sprayed deodorant all over it. This is, why are you guys all committing like biological warfare? Like, this shit's fucking nasty. Why do people do stuff like this? Okay, this one says, I've been crushing on this dude since 9th grade. I finished high school and I still have a crush on him. Please send help. This is relatable as fuck. If you actually like speak to each other and you're actually already like friends or anything like that, or just even have some communication like acquaintances or whatever, I say go for it. Like, just ask him out. But if you don't speak to him at all, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to move on. You either need to make a move and start talking to him and ask him out, or you gotta move on, because most of the time, if this is one of those crushes where you're not like friends or anything with him, it's just infatuation. Like, you just like the idea of him. Either make a move and start getting to know him, or ask him on a date, or you gotta go. This one says, I like stealing chips from people's plates because I think they taste better than mine. By the way, I love your videos. You know what? Sometimes they do. Like, sometimes other people's food tastes better than yours, and that's just a fact. But you have to give them some of yours if you're gonna steal theirs. That's the rule. This one says, when I was around 6, I took my auntie's Birkin bag and scribbled pink marker on it because I thought it would be cool, and my aunt found it and she moved to another country because of it. Well, why is the Birkin her sign to move to another country? I don't understand. I feel like we're missing some puzzle pieces there. But this one says, one time I told my friend I didn't want to be their friend anymore because I wanted attention, and then when they didn't beg for me back, I told them my older brother sent it. I don't even have siblings, and they knew this. Okay, so why would we do that? You know, the first part, you were young, I get it. Like, sometimes we just need attention, and when you're younger, you're stupid and try to get it in stupid ways. But the fact that you tried to blame it on a sibling that they knew you didn't have, what are we thinking? Sorry, the next one's really short, so I read it on accident. A guy in my year humped a teddy bear on call with his cousin. What is up with people and their fucking cousins in this video? And why would we do that? I just don't understand. Not really a confession, but I got all A's for this semester of college, and it's my best semester ever. Yay, congrats. Like, good for you. Keep it up. Keep studying. Keep focusing on your classes. Don't skip classes. I know it's tempting, but good for you. Super proud of you. Keep it up. Back in 8th grade, I was searching my mom's room to either find something I needed or just take something. Sometimes if I see something I want, I snatch it from her. I looked in her nightstand drawer, and the first thing I saw was a purple pleasure device shaped like a man's you-know-what. Described it like this so you don't have to come up with a way to say it. Thank you for being considerate. I think TikTok honestly has been way lax on like flagging stuff. So I feel like there's so many stories of people finding their mom's stuff, and it's just like, sorry you had to see that, I guess, because it's your parent, so it's awkward, but also like, no shame to your mom, you know? She's just trying to have a good time, and that's respectable. This is a bit of a longer one compared to the other ones today. It says, sorry for the long story. I was dating a guy at the time. He was my boyfriend, now ex. During the summer before my freshman year of high school, after hanging out with my ex and our mutual friends, I told one of our mutual friends that he said or did something that made me upset, but that I was going to talk to him about it when we got home. But that mutual friend told him before I got the chance to even tell my ex. My ex called me, and when I tried to communicate and talk, my ex spiraled and completely trashed his room, breaking almost everything, his PC, shelf, etc., because he thought I was going to break up with him. And I did not say anything about breaking up at all by the end of it. He had a shard of glass up to his throat, and his grandma walked in on that. We had been dating for only a month or two, by the way. Long story short, my ex almost offed himself because he thought I was going to break up with him, and I still stayed. Over the next 5 to 6 months of dating, he proceeded to be extremely toxic and gave me a panic attack. Well, I'm glad you're out of there now. This is one of those situations where, like, you know, the ones where they're cheating and like, oh, I still stayed, I'm like, oh, brother. But this, like, I understand, because that is really scary. If he is threatening to kill himself after only being together for a month, like, I don't blame you for being scared to leave him, because, you know, will feel guilty about that if he does end up doing something to himself. But I need everybody out there to understand, if somebody does something like this to you, they don't care about you, and more likely than not, they're bluffing. Like, if somebody says something like this to you, to either honestly ignore them, that sounds awful, but you might need to just ignore them, or tell somebody, like a trusted adult in their life, like tell their parents or something. Like, hey, just letting you know so-and-so said this. But you should never feel like you have to stay with somebody to keep them happy. Like, if they're treating you like that, and especially like this guy, his behavior is clearly concerning. If he's trashing his room over you just wanting to talk about something he did, do not stay with them. You are not obligated to keep somebody else alive and keep somebody else happy, you know? If it's something like this where they're holding that over their head, like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me, you can't let yourself feel bad about it, because that's not your responsibility. It really isn't. Okay, and then this is probably gonna be the last one for today, but it says, when I was in 3rd grade, there was a kid who would always push me off the slides and the swings at recess. I was really over it, so one day I found a dead mouse at recess. I was the first one in and put it in his desk. His biggest fear was mice. I feel like somebody already submitted this. Maybe they did and I just didn't delete it. I guess I'll read one more because I feel like I read this one before. But low-key, he deserves it for pushing you off the sides. Fuck that guy. I definitely did read this one before. Either they submitted it twice or I just didn't delete it. This is the last one, I guess. We're leaving it off on this. This one says, I used to think Mr. Beast and Elon Musk were the same person. They pretty much are at this point. They pretty much are. Anyways, that's all for this video. I went way over time, to be honest, but I needed to get a lot of confessions in here because people have been demanding. Bye.
I got pregnant by a homeless man I met at a gas station. So about a few months ago, I was at a gas station late night after work when this guy approached me. I could tell that he was homeless by the clothes that he was wearing, but he didn't look homeless in a way. Like, his face, this sounds bad, but basically he was like too good looking to be homeless. He approached me and he didn't ask me for money. He just asked me if I could give him a ride. He just asked me if I could drive him to a bus stop like a few blocks away. At first I was obviously like really hesitant, but he seemed really normal, like really polite. I guess just like down on his luck. So I said yes. And during that short drive, we just started talking, like really talking. And I use Astra daily to give me some guidance. It's an astrology app that gives you life advice based on your birth chart. And the interesting thing is that the day that I met him, I went on the daily horoscope feature on there, like I always do. And it basically told me that I was at a point in my life where I had to embrace the unpredictable energy that was coming my way, because that was guiding my evolution. So, you know, it was another reason for me to let go and just enjoy the moment. So before I dropped him off, I asked him if he wanted to get some food because I genuinely just didn't want the conversation to end. We ended up sitting in my car, eating food and just talking for hours. Like, I was really liking him, and it's really hard for me to connect to people. And we were talking for hours, and long story short, one thing led to another, and he was really good looking, and we ended up doing it in my car. And like I said, I wasn't lying because I really liked him. After that, I saw him about like 3 other times. And we only stopped seeing each other because eventually he told me that he had found a job finally, but it was an hour away from where I lived, so basically we couldn't see each other anymore. But then months passed, I forgot about him, never contacted him again. And out of nowhere, I realized my period had been gone for way too long. I'd been stressed with work, exhausted all the time, and somehow I just like brushed it all off. So I finally took a test and it was positive. I remember literally staring at that test in silence because there was only one person that this baby could be of. I haven't even kissed someone else since I was with him. So yeah, I basically know it's his for a fact, and I contacted him. I was expecting the worst reaction possible, obviously. I was just expecting him to honestly hang up on me and disappear. But no, it was quite the opposite. He got extremely emotional. He started crying on the phone calls saying, "Oh my God, it's always been my dream to become a father." It was kind of relieving to see his reaction, but this is definitely not how I imagined my life would go. Somehow, out of a random night at a gas station, I ended up finding the father of my child.
Hey besties, it's Saturday. You know what that means. Get ready time. And enjoy the story time on how I caught my ex cheating on me with older women. Basically, I was dating this guy and we were dating for about maybe a year and some change, I think. I never went through his phone and he never went through my phone. That should have been like red flag number 1, but I in no shape or form, no way or form, whatever the hell, blame myself for anything that happened, because girl, a guy's gonna be a guy and a guy's gonna do what a guy does, and that's not my fault. Anyways, so one day we are outside his house hanging out with his mom and his little sister, just enjoying the sun, when all of a sudden I hear this weird agitating. He goes to show me a TikTok, and I don't know why. Again, I've never grabbed his phone or anything, and I just like snatched his phone. So I never was gonna go through that phone. Like, I just grabbed it just to see the TikTok a little closer. Girl, I'm blind, you know. I didn't think it was gonna be too much, but his face instantly dropped. Like, dropped down to his booty hole. And I was like, okay. And I gave that phone right back. I didn't even want to go through that. He got so agitated. Instantly, I knew. Like, I just knew. If you're a girl, you just know. Like, you just know. Like, if you act like you don't know, you're just being delulu. But, yep, instantly I knew. I gave that phone back. Soon as his mom went inside, I was like, take my ass home right now. Like, I want to go home. Maybe it's a trauma of my dad cheating on my mom and my mom, you know, being hurt all her life or whatever. But any little sign of cheating, I'm out of there. Out of there. He didn't drop me off home. Got upstairs, blocked his ass, and then he came and knocked on my door, was banging on my door for me to come out. Don't give a fuck. He was begging for me back, and then I eventually opened up to my sister, and I told her what had happened, and she was just like, oh, like, there was something on that phone. Did you go through it? And I was like, no, I didn't go through it. Instantly, she was like, are you stupid? Why would you not go through that phone? Like, now you're just gonna have the what if. And I was just like, Anyways, at this point, my sister put the curiosity in me, and I was like, she's so right. Like, what if I never find out? Anyway, so one morning, I replied to him, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Maybe I overreacted. Also, he tried telling me, like, oh my god, I got so mad because my mom was there, and she seen you being toxic, and da-da-da-da-da. BS. Mind you, he has a little brother whose girlfriend goes through that phone in front of his mom and his dad. Like, you're not gonna sit up here and play that card with me. I made up my mind that the next day, I was gonna pull up on him without him knowing that I was going, so I can go through his phone without him clearing or getting ready for me. So the night comes around where I'm going to fulfill my plan. My sister taught me how to put my location on my iPad. That way I can head out and wait for him at his house when he gets home from work without him knowing. I had also sneakily been telling him that I was going to go to sleep. I told him I was super tired and I was calling it a night early. Since we had just had this whole situation happen, he kind of knew that I was still upset. Yeah, I changed my location to my iPad and I drove straight to his house because I seen that he was on his way home from work. Also, I just want to be very clear that I knew right away that whether I found something or didn't find nothing, I wasn't going to go back to him. Like, whatever you had, you might have erased. Whatever I don't find was there at one point. So yeah, I only did this so I could figure out what exactly it was and because I wanted to know. And when I got to his house, I hid in like a little cut. There was like another little neighborhood. I hid right there. And I just remember my stomach hurting so much. I remember telling my sister, like, maybe I should go home. Like, maybe I shouldn't do this. And just break up with him and leave it at that. And she was like, no, girl, you need to see. My sister being toxic. I was like, fine. Anyways, guys, he was pulling up and I drove up right behind him. Parked the car, turned it off so quick, went to his window. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you're home. Like, I'm so excited to see you. I'm all like, surprise. Like, and then obviously he's like, oh my god, like, well, I thought you were sleeping already. I didn't know you were coming. I was like, yeah, you know, I wanted to surprise you. As soon as, like, I seen him, the behavior already started. Like, he's the type to get home, park his car, and run upstairs. No, sis. This time, he was taking forever to get off. Like, he was looking for random pieces of trash. Just doing the most. And the whole way up to his room, I was literally right in his butt crack. Like, I could smell that shit damn near. And when we get to his room, you guys, he walked in first, so I'm behind him. So my back is to the door. And I remember just looking at him and being like, let me see your phone. And he's all like, okay, you can see it, but I'm going to go shower first. And I was like, let me see your phone and then you can go shower. And he's like, I'm going to go shower first. And he's like trying to open the door from behind me. And that's all I had to know. Like, instantly, right then and there, he was cheating. Instantly. He ends up leaving in the room, and I just remember being there like, what the fuck? Like, did this bitch really just do that? I go to open the door to leave. He's standing there like, I'm bringing you my phone so you can go through it. Bitch, you already probably deleted that shit. Anyway, I was like fighting with him, tussling. Not really fighting with him, but I was just like tussling him to move out the way so I can leave. And what's so funny, guys, is that he literally unlocks his phone to like prove that there was nothing there. The first thing that was there was like the Gmail notification that he had archived a message. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I put like a little screenshot. He's all like, it's not what it looks like, it's not what it looks like. Eventually go through that phone, and like I expected, there wasn't nothing there. Anyways, I eventually went through his apps. The only reason I went through the apps was because I didn't find anything, and I was like, maybe he has like a incognito app or something. I go through his apps. All the apps were meet mature woman, meet older woman, cougar apps, casual meeting apps he had downloaded that day. I skirted off as he still was holding onto the door, and he was like, are you really over with me? I'm like, he tried later telling me that he was on his hustler shit. You were on your bum shit. What the fuck? But yeah, besties, that was a story time. So this is your sign to go through those motherfucking apps. This is your sign to not date anyone who has a bum brain, because a bum is a bum regardless where he gets or where he goes. But yeah, besties, I'm off to finish getting ready. Mwah.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you about the day I got grounded. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and feel pretty. It was nighttime, but I didn't really care. I just started doing my makeup just to feel myself, like take some pictures, make some TikToks, and go to bed. But that was the plan, not what happened. So after I take some of the pictures, I made a new Snap account like a month or two before this happened. So I was still getting like a lot of ads because your account gets pushed like when you make a new account. So I added the new pictures of me on my public, and I was just like adding people back. I posted like a TikTok, and I posted my public story like, oh, follow my TikTok. So like a lot of people were seeing what I looked like, and I'm not even gonna lie, like I looked really good that night. So I think I got like over 200 ads that night. And so I was just like, you know what, since this is a new account, I have nobody added, I'm gonna add everybody back. So I'm adding everybody back, and this one boy, let's call him like James, he adds me. I add him back. He immediately texts me. He said, yo, 2-man tonight? I wasn't with a friend, so I was like, what? So I call him, and I was like, okay, like, who's your friend? What do you look like? Where do you even live? Because I didn't even know if this guy lived near me. He lived like 30 minutes away. I didn't have a friend, but I was thinking of someone because we were supposed to hang out that night, but she couldn't. She went to her dad's house, which is like 45 minutes in the opposite direction of him. So she's like, yeah, sure, you guys can come and pick me up. So him and I are like talking for a little bit. He adds his friend. I'm like, oh shit, like I kind of want his friend, but I was like going with him. My friend was like, oh no, like I want James, like you can have his friend. Okay, let's call his friend Owen. So I wanted Owen, my friend wanted James, and I was like, all right, like I'm pretty sure they'll just be able to switch. So we talk, and I'm like, okay, these guys are cool. And they're like, okay, what's the address? Mind you, they live 45 minutes away. Sorry, 30 minutes. I give them my address. They pull up. And as they pull up, my friend says, oh, well, I can't. What the heck do you mean, oh, I can't? I was like, all right, bro, I guess. So all three of us are just sitting in the car, and they're like, what do we do now? I was going through my phone, like calling like every single one of my friends. I just felt that all over me. And then it hits me. I'm like, oh crap, my sister. I don't live with my sister, but I called her up, and she lives like 20 minutes away. Again, in the opposite direction of their house. She's with her friend. I call her up, and I was like, it's fine, you can bring your friend, whatever. I'm just trying to hang out with these people. And she's like, all right, bet. So we're driving, and I'm like, I thought I was hitting it off with Owen, but I guess not. James wasn't talking at all. Like, he was driving and he was not talking. Like, he didn't say a word. And I asked him a question. The only thing he told me was his phone password because I was trying to have aux, and that's it. So we pull up. My sister and her friend get in the car, and there isn't 5 seats in the car. It's like an old car. There's 4 seats. There's 2 in the back and 2 in the front. And the seatbelt didn't work on the one in the front. So the 2 boys are sitting in the front, and the 3 of us girls are sitting in the back. We're all like, okay, what do we do now? The guy's like, oh, well, I live on a farm, so we can just go on my farm and pet my emus. I thought he was joking. I didn't know you could even own emus. This guy was being dead serious, so I was like, you know what? I'm down. Let's go. So we are driving 45. Well, it's supposed to be like 45 minutes, but no one else was on the road, so he was like low-key speeding. And we get there less than 45 minutes. And we're just like, we're all having like a good time. Like, we're all just talking, playing some really good songs. We get to his farm. Mind you, it's February, so it's freezing outside, and none of us were really prepared for the weather. So he parks as far as he can go because the snow is just like absolutely insane. We are walking, like, I would say probably like a fifth of a mile there and back. So we're walking. I'm freezing, like my teeth are chattering. It's like it was that cold. I took like a picture on Snap, and then I looked up like on the little sticker things, like where it says like your elevation, time, everything. It was 2 a.m. and it was 17 degrees. I don't even think I was wearing a hoodie, or if I was, it was hella thin. We get to his little farm, like where all of his animals are. The rooster is like making noises for some reason, which scared me. And then his emus make noise as we're petting them. I didn't know that emus even made noise. If you don't know what an emu is, it's like a ostrich, but like a little bit tinier. So they're like over 6 feet tall. So I low-key get scared, but we finish up like petting his emus, and we're like, okay, what do we do now? And he's like, oh, well, we can just like go inside. We're like, all right. So first, we get inside, and we have to be quiet, obviously, because he's sneaking us in. We go into his basement, and there's no room for us. There's nowhere to sit, nowhere to walk. It's just like, yeah, no. So we go back upstairs, and he has like a cat, and it's just following us around, and it's just like meowing and stuff. So I pick up the cat, or someone picks up the cat, and we go into his room. I don't really think the cat was important, but like I just remember it walked out of his room, and I started hearing some like freaky noises from the room next to us. And so we were all like kind of like laughing at that, and we're just sitting in his room, and he has a gecko, and so we're like playing with his gecko, like all this stuff. His gecko is like trying to like camouflage into my hoodie. I was wearing a hoodie. It was just very, very thin. So we're just like having fun, and we're like, you know what, we're gonna go on Omegle. It was Omi TV, but it's like basically the exact same thing. You just like have it on an app. So like we're all having a lot of fun. We're like just trolling everybody. And then the audio glitches out, and the person we're talking to freezes. And I was like, what the fuck? Is it his Wi-Fi? And then I get a little drop down notification. Incoming call from mom. Mind you, it's 3 a.m. at this point. I don't even know why she was up. So I decided to be stupid and literally just hang up. I didn't even let it go to voicemail. I just hung up. So she obviously called me like 5 more times. I finally answered. I was like, what do I say? She was like, where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? Blah. She was like screaming. I mean, if I were in her position, I would be too. And I was just like, I'm with so-and-so, like, we're doing this. I was not with so-and-so. She said, where are you? I said North Liberty. If you know, you know. Obviously, I was in North Liberty, like, I don't even know. But I checked my phone, and we were 45 miles away from my house. She said, get home right now. You have 20 minutes. I'm guessing she called my aunt, because then my aunt starts spamming my phone. She's like, where are you? Send your location. So I sent her my location and everything. And the person who I told them I was at someone else's house. They lived on the opposite side of town, like an hour away from where I said I was. So they obviously knew I was lying. I don't even know why I sent her my location. I really shouldn't have. But I don't know. So we're like, okay, we gotta roll. So we get in the car. We're driving. I'm in the front seat, and the seatbelt doesn't work, and this guy has to get me home in 20 minutes, and it takes way longer than 20 minutes to get from his house to my house. This guy is going like 90 miles an hour. I don't have a seatbelt on. It's overly dark out. Like, you cannot see 5 feet in front of you. I have never been so scared for my life ever. Like, I was praying the whole entire time we were going home. Like, the entire time. He gets me home, and basically my mom's just screaming at me. Then I get grounded for a week. The moral of the story is, don't sneak out and lie to your parents, especially with boys that you don't know. I'm gonna finish up my makeup and show you guys the final product. Okay guys, this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. This was a long video, but hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay guys, get ready with me, even though it's 7 o'clock on a school night. Get ready with me while I tell you about a annoying ass flirty friendship. You're in for a treat because there's a lot that I have to say. Okay, I'm gonna start by fixing my hair, but okay, we're just gonna call this friend G. Okay? Okay. Mind you, I'm gay, so like, and G is a girl, by the way. So yeah. Okay, so me and G have known each other since like 5th grade, but we haven't like been friends for that long. We like just became friends like sometime last year. It was like early last year. And so me and this girl, we became like friends, and she was my gay awakening in 5th grade, by the way. So me and this girl, we hang out constantly, and we have a trio. It's me, G, and then the other girl, we're just gonna call her C. Okay. So me and my trio, we always hang out. We're always doing something. I'm gonna go in with this moisturizer, by the way. We're always doing something. We're always hanging out. And then me and G will hang out if C can't hang out, you know? So, sometime last year, oh, my hamster's awake. Sometime last year, G was teaching me how to play guitar. And it was just very, like, flirty and very, like, I'm literally falling in love with you watching you do this. Like, my favorite artist is Billie Eilish. She was playing Billie Eilish music. And then, it was like a month later, she starts playing guitar again in front of me, trying to teach me, but, like, she was playing the song first. And it was Lover, You Should Have Come Over. Just remember that. So, she starts playing Lover, You Should Have Come Over on the guitar. And my bitch ass starts crying. But, like, mind you, I was already, like, crushing on her at this point, and, like, just seeing her play it was just so fucking beautiful. So, I started, like, tearing up. Like, I wasn't, like, literally, like, violently crying, but I was tearing up. And so, as I'm tearing up, she's like, no, don't cry. And she was like, why don't I teach you a little bit? Mind you, this girl can also sing extremely well. She can literally sing exactly like Billie Eilish. I'm so serious. There's not a note change. It's just exactly like Billie Eilish. I've never met anybody that can do that, by the way. So, she starts, like, she taught me how to, like, play, like, a little bit of it, but, like, I'm not, like, that good at guitar yet, but, like, you know. Then she starts playing Wildflower and starts singing it. I learned the chords, so I was playing it, and she was singing it, and just, like, oh my god. I was falling in love, literally, in the moment. So, we keep hanging out. Then, we start holding hands. We start hugging all the time. We're always touching each other, like, you know. Like, we always have, like, my hand somewhere, and she always has her hand somewhere. Like, just, like, at least skin to skin, you know? Then, I built up the courage to talk to our friend about it, C. And C told me she doesn't want a relationship, and I don't think she likes you, but she thinks you're pretty. I was like, okay, fuck, I'm cooked. Like, I have no way of getting into this. I was like, I guess it's just gonna be the average liking a straight girl, which G is not straight, but it's like the equivalent, because she doesn't like me back. She only sees me as a friend. Then, like, I'd say, like, a month later. Okay. I actually forgot a step. Hold on. Okay. a month later, we're at Guitar Center. And me and G are sitting in like a little guitar room that's like all like blocked off or whatever, so like the sounds really good. And C was off looking at other stuff. I think she was looking at drums at the time. So G starts playing Billie Eilish and Lover, You Should Have Come Over. But whenever she started playing Lover, You Should Have Come Over, like, I obviously started, like, tearing up, because it's literally what I do every single time she plays it. But it's only when she plays it. If I hear the song, I'm fine. It's just when she plays it. I don't know. And she, like, I'll show you how we were sitting. Okay, so it was like a bench. And she was sitting here with her feet off the side, and then I was sitting like this. So, like, she was, like, right here, facing this way, and I was right here, like, looking at her. So she's like this, she moves her feet like this, and she goes like this, and she's like looking at me, like looking at me. And let me tell you what my dumb ass did. I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh fuck, like she's like close as fuck to my face. When I say close, I mean close. So I'm like looking at her and I'm like this. I'm just like looking at her. And then my dumb ass looks at her lips. I literally looked her up and down. I went, fuck! Like, oh my god. Then, right as I thought we were about to kiss, C walks in. And she goes, what did I miss? No, guys, what did I miss? Like, starts, like, profusely wanting to know what she missed, because me and G both looked incredibly, like, I don't even know. So C pulls me out of the room, and she's like, tell me what happened, because I know something happened. I was like, nothing happened. And she was like, did y'all kiss? And I was like, no. I was like, almost, but no. So I was like, so technically nothing happened. She was like, okay. Then she pulls G out of the room, and I was like, fuck, I'm cooked. Because C promised not to tell G what I said to her about whenever I asked her if she liked me. And I was like, fuck, she's gonna know now. But I never asked, like, what she said until the other day. Mind you, this was, like 2 weeks ago. So, I asked C the other day. I literally, like, just got back from, like, our huge group hangout. And I asked her, I was like, wait, what did G end up saying? And she said that she would have kissed you if I wouldn't have walked in, that y'all probably would have ended up kissing, but she also didn't want to lead you on. Oh my fuck! Lead me on. I don't care. I would so love to kiss you. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't even care. Like, I don't care that, like, if you want to stay friends, we can stay friends, and you just want to kiss. Please. Like, I don't do this with, like, everybody. Like, I'm not a whore. It's just, I've liked this girl for so long, and I've, like, had a crush on her, and just the confusing, like, moments, because she's, like, touchy, and she's flirty, and eye contact, just everything combined. Just, oh my gosh. Mind you, this is the concealer I'm using. It's actually foundation, but I use it as concealer, because it has really good coverage. I would really hope that this is entertaining for y'all, because I'm crashing out. So, I don't really know if I have anything left to, like, tell you. So, like, I wrestle C a lot, and, then G was like, C told me, she was like, hey, why don't you ever wrestle G? Like, you always freaking come for me, but you never come for her. And I was like, oh. And then G goes, well, that's because she can't. So I try to, and she, like, absolutely, like, manhandles the shit out of me. And we also have, like, lists for each other. It's, like, a joke that we have. We have lists for each other, like, what our, like, turn-ons are. And G has, like, barely any for me. But I have, like, a bunch for her. I have a bunch for C. But, like, nobody has many on me. So they really try to figure it out most of the time. And, yeah. But, like, G is just like, you know what I mean? I'm running out of time, and my phone is about to die. So I think I'm going to end this here. But I just needed to get this off my chest, and I feel like people would understand this. Like, if you're in the Willowa community, please tell me that you understand this, because I've had, like, so many, like, Willowa friends that have gone through this exact same situation or something like it.
Get ready with me to tell y'all why I'm getting kicked out of my house. And this is not a joke. Literally, look at my room and look at my closet. Nothing. So basically, they hate me and they never want to see me in their life ever again. So I'm getting kicked out. So I basically came home to literally nothing in my room. As y'all can tell, there's literally everything outside. I'm literally sitting on the desk. I'm not even sitting on a chair. I honestly think it's because they're done with my bullshit, and because I literally never go to school, guys. Like, you will never catch me in school. Like, literally, like, I didn't even go to school today. So now I think I'm gonna go live with my sister in Waco, and hopefully she wants me over there, because then I have nowhere to go, and I already have all my things packed to go, so don't worry about that. But I literally have to leave behind everything. Like, I literally can't take nothing with me, bro. I better hurry up before they get home, because then they're gonna ask me where am I gonna go, even though they're the ones that are kicking me out. Like, I am also gonna steal a car. Since the car is here and the keys are here, they should have never done that. I'm all ready, guys. I got the keys, so let's go. Anyways, guys, wish me luck and bye, queens. I'm just kidding, but I am gonna be in Dallas May 3rd, so if you want to come meet the queen, the flag's gonna be right here, so bye, queens.
I don't generally believe in spanking, but I do think that whoever invented wind deserves a big slap on the ass, because this shit is not fucking pleasant.
I know you guys are reading the caption and saying, like, huh? Girl, you better stand up. You better leave him. You deserve better. And this, that. Yes, I know that. I've been told. Yes, I know. I just want to start by saying that my husband, he's a great dad. A great dad. He's a great provider, but I have told him that he's not a great husband. He has emotionally cheated on me, I should say, 8 times within our marriage. First time was when I was pregnant. The last time was my 24th-ish birthday. And, kind of nervous about uploading this, because I already know that it's gonna get to him. I blocked my husband just because I don't want to start a fight with him. But a lot of my family and a lot of his family, a lot of his family and a lot of my family think that I am the problem. Every time I kick my husband out because I've caught him, texting other girls, his friends, his family, my family have always been, oh, your poor husband. Oh, it's because we understand because you're such a bitch. Oh, we understand because you have such an attitude. I don't ever start fights with my husband just to start fights with my husband. Nobody wants to fight with their partner. Every time I've caught him, the girls have always brought me up, which is really weird because, he knows he's married, right? So he's obviously in the wrong. But if you're trying to sleep with my husband or take my husband, why am I being brought up in the conversation? Why are you bringing me up? 100 million men in this world, and you think a married man is the love of your life, which is crazy to me. But I don't know if it's just my karma. Yeah, I don't know if it's just my karma or I don't even know what to say, but yes, my husband has cheated on me 8 times. Emotionally cheated on me. I want to be naive and think that he's never cheated on me physically. He says that he hasn't. I'm gonna be naive and I'm gonna take his word for it. Why I started uploading these videos? Well, everybody's always talking about, oh, you can always make money off of it. With that money, I'll probably go to therapy or get a BBL. Whatever makes me feel better in the end. But yes, I have kicked him out before. I have tried to get over him, and I have told him that if he wants to move on, go ahead. It's okay. It's fine with me. And I'm so embarrassed that I'm even teary-eyed. Or my voice is breaking. Very nervous about uploading this, but you know, don't be like me. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I don't even know how to end this video, but like, follow, share, I guess. And I'll tell you guys, if you've made it this far into my video, I'll tell you guys about the time that I got uppercutted by my dad on my 19th birthday. Bye.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the strangest date I have ever been on. I would like to just state the obvious and say that this is not my boyfriend who I am talking about in this story. My boyfriend is the most magical and wonderful human being on the planet, and he very much has his act together, which this guy did not. No shade to him, he was a nice enough guy, he just made some interesting decisions. So your girl was fresh off of a heartbreak. My sophomore year did not go the way I expected it, and I got my heart broken twice. So I was off of my second one, and summer had just started, and I was ready for something other than boys from my school. So this guy and I start texting on Instagram. He seems really nice, like super fun, whatever. But for some reason, he like wouldn't show me his face, which I found a little bit odd. Like he wouldn't show me his face for like the first 2 weeks, and then he was like, try and find a photo of me and I'll tell you if it's me. And I was like, how the fuck am I gonna find a photo of you? We don't go to the same school. He eventually did show me a photo of him, and I'm not gonna call him ugly. He was good looking, at least to me at the time. I remember being like, oh cool, and I'm a pretty tall girl, so I like to know how tall the men I date are, and honestly, I don't care how tall the men I date are. It's just I'd really like to know your height before I say yes to a date. Like, there's no problem with having a boyfriend shorter than you, but I was just curious about this guy's height, you know? I had a right to know. So I asked him his height, and he's like, yeah, I'm 6 foot, and I was like, okay, cool, like that's pretty cool. It's not a determining factor for me, but like, and it's not something you should lie about either, but he told me he was 6 foot. So yeah, this guy and I continue talking. He's very nice. He's like, he writes me poems, which is very nice. I'm not sure if half of them were ChatGPT now that I look back on it, but he was nice enough, and he asked me out on a date, and I said, of course, yes. So we planned to meet up at this mall right by my house, and I'm really excited, and I'm really nervous because I've never actually been on like a date with someone like from social media. You know, I've always dated people who I know in real life, so it was a little bit scary, but I was ready. I'd been talking to him for like 2 months, so he's already kind of late to the date, and I'm like, oh, like bro, all men are the same. I'm joking, but like I was like, bro, why are you late? And he's like I'm here, I swear. It takes us like 20 minutes to find each other in this mall, and it's not even a big mall. It's literally like, you know how some malls are like all over the place? Like this is like literally like a strip. It's like a line. That's what the mall is. But eventually we do find each other, and he's like, I'm right in front of you. So I look up from my phone and I see him, and there is a 5'5" man standing in front of me, and he's like, sup, shawty? And I'm like, I shit you not, like the first thing I said to him, I didn't even mean to say it. Like I look at him and I go, wow, you're short. He like sort of laughed. He's like, I was joking when I said I was 6 foot. And I was like, really? I couldn't tell. Basically, my mom had dropped me off at the mall, but she was waiting outside because she wanted to meet this boy before I went off. And I like, you know, hung out with him just for safety and whatnot, because he was from social media. And so he and I start walking out together, and to where my mom's car is, and he meets my mom, and I see my little brother. In the back seat, and he's holding a camera, and he's like, I later learned that he was holding it, recording the boy, just in case he was a kidnapper, so we would have video footage of his face. But basically he meets my mom, and like he seems really nice, and I'm like excited, but then my mom was like, Molly, do you have like money? Like, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, well, I have all the money, ma'am, I got it. And I was like, are you really flexing on my mom? Anyways, we say bye to my mom, and we hang out at the mall for a little bit, and he basically tells me, he's like, why don't we get like cinnamon buns? And I was like, awesome, like I love cinnamon buns. So we walk into this Macy's where Cinnabon is, sort of like is like a little kiosk there, and I'm like, awesome, let's get them. And I'm thinking he might pay for me, considering he just flexed on my mom and said that he had all the money in the world. And he looks at me and he goes, so you got money? And I was like, no, like I mean, like yes, but like what do you mean? I thought you said you had money. And he was like, oh yeah, I was joking, like could you not tell that it was a joke? I was like,
No, I don't think I could tell. I don't think my mom could tell either. So he ended up telling me that he just wanted to like look good in front of my mom, and I was like, I understand, like I understand. And he was like, I thought you'd be chill, and I was like, well, I am chill. And so I ended up buying us the cinnamon buns, and they were tasty, they were great. But he wouldn't know that because he didn't eat any of them. So let's just do a little recap. He asks me for cinnamon buns, says he has all the money, makes me pay for the cinnamon buns out of my own pocket. And my grand life savings at that point was like $15.62. So I blow my money, and then you don't eat cinnamon buns. I don't know, just kind of a little bit strange. So we continue hanging out, and I get Chipotle, and we split it, and it's all going well. And I'm like, hey, do you want to go somewhere else? And he was like, yeah. So my mom very kindly called an Uber for us, and was going to Uber us to this street full of shops right by where I live. I'm not gonna say exactly where it is, but if you know, you know. So we get into the Uber, and this guy who's driving us clearly does not speak very good English, and that's okay. Immediately, the guy who I was going out with goes, can you turn on some music? And he was like, yeah. So the guy tries to turn on the radio, and it's not working, and he's like, I'm sorry, it's not working. He goes, it's okay, I'll just play it from my phone. So this man starts blasting mariachi music from his phone at full volume and singing along to it as loud as he can. It was a little bit charming, I guess, but it was a little bit disrespectful to the poor guy who was in the front seat, like looking behind him like, who is this guy? Like, why is he doing this? And he like grabs my legs and stuff, and I think I actually have a video of this. Maybe I'll put it in here. This isn't what I signed up for. But yeah, so that happened. This goes on for about like 15 minutes straight. I'm honestly mortified because I am not someone who would just be able to do that. So we get to this place that we were supposed to go to. It's like this chicken place, and they're notorious for really, really spicy chicken, and that's literally in their name. If you know, you know. And we get there, and I'm pretty hungry after my Chipotle because I don't know, maybe I was going through like a growth spurt or something. I don't know. Your girl was always hungry back then. And so we get in line to order, and he actually had money, and he pays this time, which I found a little bit funky. I was like, huh. What's going on there? I start looking at the menu, and I have my eyes set on like a medium level of heat on my chicken, and I asked the guy, I was like, hey, what are you getting? He's like, I am getting the Reaper. Mind you, the Reaper is literally supposed to be like the spiciest chicken you've ever had, and like it's like one of those things like you're insane if you eat it. And I try and explain this to him, and he's like no, like I'm good. And he was Latino, so he told me, he's like, it's my Latino heritage, like I got it, like I can handle spice. And I was like, okay, whatever, yeah, go for it. I was like, maybe if I'm feeling brave, I might take a little nibble too. So we get our order, and I see the amount of spice just and heat fuming from his. I was like, you might want to watch out. And he was like, no, I got this. And instead of being a little bit cautious, he dives headfirst into it and starts like gobbling it down. And he has a bite of it in his mouth, and he's like, this is. And he looks at me with these eyes, and he's like, oh my god, it's so spicy, and his eyes start like watering. He starts like crying, and I was like, oh, like what do I do? So he's like, no, I'm fine, and he like runs over to the soda dispenser and starts like chugging Sprite. And when I tell you, we were there for like 15 minutes, and the whole time he was just chugging Sprite, and his eyes just kept watering. And I was over here with my mild heat. I was like, ooh, this is awkward. So eventually, like, he gets like a grip, and he's like, I got it, it's out of my mouth and stuff. I forgot to tell you, he actually begged the cashier for milk. He was like, do you guys have milk? And they were like, no, like, we have milkshakes. And he's like, oh. But after this whole ordeal, he looks at me straight in my face, and he goes, you want to go to the bathroom and make out? like what? Like, I don't think I should be, considering you just had that reaction to what you just put in your mouth. I don't think I should be anywhere near your mouth. Like, so I was like, no, like, let's go somewhere else, because we're on this long strip of shops. And he was like, I bet, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're walking, we go into shops. It's actually very nice. I'm having a pleasant time. He seems to not be dying of the heat anymore. Something funny did happen. I had pepper spray in my pocket that I had taken just in case he was crazy, and I needed to use it, and it exploded in my pocket. So that was delightful. It was just stinging my pants. I meant stinging my leg. I can't speak. Anyways, what I was saying is we're walking along, and there's a CVS, and CVS is everything, so we're just like walking, and I'm looking for the candy section and stuff. We're having a grand old time, and he decides that inside of the adult diaper section of CVS is the best place to pull me in and kiss me for the first time. I'm not gonna say it was like a horrible kiss, like, because of him, but it was a horrible kiss because like it was in a CVS. Like I don't even think I should open my mouth within 30 feet of a Minute Clinic. Like, those things are really gross. But yeah, it was about time to wrap things up, and I text my mom, I'm like, hey, can you come get me? She's like, yeah, sure. And I had to retell this whole story to her, and she's like, so you're not going out with him again, right? And I was like, no, I'm going out with him again. I was just playing in everybody's faces that summer, I don't know. I did end up going on one more date with him, and then I broke things off because I just, I couldn't do it. Like, he never made any effort to come and see me after that. He was a nice guy. Like, he was nice. There was no, like, real problems with him. I just think that the scenario that happened was just really strange, but somehow it was exactly what I needed at that point in my life. So yeah, guys, that's the story. I'm gonna show you guys the final look in 3, 2, 1.
Boo, you whore. Do you ever hang out with that one friend that like they're so fun to hang out with that after you feel like posting like a Facebook mom? That post hangout joy makes me want to hop on Facebook and be like,
had the best time hanging with my friend Linda. You are a hoot and a holler, girl. I love you till the day I die.
I caught my boyfriend cheating because of his fitness watch. Story time. So me and Steve have been together for about 5 years, and a couple of months ago he decided he was going to get into his fitness era. And when I say this came out of nowhere, it came out of nowhere. Previously his idea of fitness was to get up and walk from the sofa to the fridge. And at first I was thinking, oh my god, love this for him. Right, look at that stick. And then his gym sessions got later and later. It started off at like 9:30 p.m. One time, this man left the house at 11 p.m. and his excuse was that he felt guilty for skipping cardio. Okay, Glow. One night, he came home because he had done a mad cardio session. So a little while later, his watch buzzes and it says exercise rings complete. Now, I normally would not care about this at all. But underneath there was this little summary of his workout day. And his workout was not at the gym. It was at an apartment complex across town. Then I noticed that the workout is logged as other. But apparently whatever activity he was doing burned 600 calories in 47 minutes. No wonder my guy skipped cardio. This is blending like an absolute dream. So like naturally my stomach drops through the floor. So the next day we wake up and I was like, oh babe, I didn't ask how the gym was yesterday. How did it go? Full novel. He goes into depth. Now a couple of days later, this man leaves for the gym again. I'm suspicious. So I head straight to his fitness app, which is on our iPad. And about an hour later, ding, workout logged. 48 minutes this time at the same apartment. So I waited for him to get home. He was all sweaty. I'm gonna brighten up my concealer a little bit. I'm trying out the MCO Beauty Brighten and Perfect one today. So every time this man goes to work out for the next few days, I track him until I get absolutely sick of this. So one Thursday, I'm like, oh, hey babe, how was the workout? He goes, oh, brutal in this heat. I'm like, oh yeah, Pineview Apartments is horrific this time of year, isn't it? He just looked at me like, what? So I hold up the iPad. Silence. Pure silence. Also, guys, please do not sleep on this powder from MCO Beauty. It's one of the most brightening, mattifying powders I have. I love taking it for little top-ups as well. So eventually Steve admits to me that other was actually his co-worker, Amy. Apparently, the craziest part of all of this is they have been hooking up for months. Steve is sat there on the sofa blushing the way this makes me blush. This is the shade Rosy Pink, and honestly, oh, it's the most gorgeous summery blush. And genuinely, the craziest part of all of this is not that he cheated, but that he tried to get angry at me for tracking his location. I've never tried any of MCO Beauty's lip liners before, but this has just glided on so smooth. And if you like the way my base is looking today, make sure to pick up some of my essentials. I absolutely love the MCO Beauty Flawless Glow. It's glowy without making you look sweaty or sticky or defining your texture. It really does blur. And of course, one of my favourite setting sprays. This is the Miracle Setting Spray. This makes your makeup last. And even though it's long lasting, it's also very hydrating and alcohol free. So if you like the way my makeup is looking, make sure to pick up some of my favourite MCO Beauty essentials. I just cheated on my husband with his brother and I have no regrets. Story time. So me and my husband, who we'll call Steve, were high school sweethearts and we got married when we were 20 years old. I was working a really successful job and we were living the life we had always dreamed of in high school. My husband would treat us like royalty. He'd shower the kids with flowers, gifts. However, over time, he started to get more and more distant with us. I'd catch him on his phone, like secretly texting. And this is when I discovered that Stephen was having an affair. So we had a big old conversation about this and he told me that he felt distant in the relationship and that he was no longer fulfilled. And the reason we were so distant is because I was working my arse off to provide for our family because Steve hasn't had a job for years. And not gonna lie, I really wanted to leave the marriage at this point. But we decided that it might be good to try out couples counselling. And for the first couple of months, this really did help, but then it just deteriorated all over again. So when I confronted about it this time, he said that he was having more affairs. And this time around, Steve had been spending nights at other women's houses. Sleepovers with Steven. He had even had other women at our house in our bed. Naturally, I moved this man into the guest bedroom because I couldn't even bear to look at him. You're disgusting. And throughout all of this, my husband's brother, who we'll call Dave, was my main support. Dave would pick the children up from school, he would make tea for them. And this went on for 2 years. And it even got to the point where the children started to call Dave Dad. Me and Dave were obviously spending a lot of time together and I can't lie, I absolutely loved it. So last Christmas, Dave booked me, my husband and our kids, all of us, a trip to Fiji. Fiji! Dave was just desperate for me and his brother to fix things. However, when my husband found out, he told us to F off. Like, babe, It's Fiji! Fiji! A free holiday to Fiji! Just outright refused to go. In the comments, is anyone else refusing a trip to Fiji? Because I'm sure as hell not. When I asked him why he wouldn't go, it said because he wouldn't go on holiday with our little brats. He's spouting all of this shit about how our kids aren't ours anymore and that they were mistakes anyway. And actually, I asked Dave to come on the holiday. Obviously, on this trip, me and Dave got it on. I'm not gonna lie, girlies, I chose the wrong brother. But the universe showed me the way to the right brother. Get back this morning to find my husband sat on the sofa. Let me know if you want part 2.
Yes, I was 15 and I was dating an 18-year-old. So I think I might know a thing or two about toxic relationships. I know a thing or two about toxic relationships. So get ready with me while I talk about who the heck did I date. My first boyfriend would tell me to be more like his mother, and that whenever we got married and Easter came around, I had to make him an Easter basket no matter how old he was. I had to do his laundry, make his lunch, make his bed, all that stuff, because that's what his mom did for him at the ripe age of 18. Oh, and I was 15. He once pushed me into a wall because people at my school in my class were all telling me to. Whether it was a joke or not, it wasn't. Nobody should joke about that, whatever. But I was clearly upset. I went to him and I told him about it, and he was so upset with them. And then I tried to stop him from going and yelling at them because that would be more embarrassing for me. And he just shoved me into the wall. Didn't apologize. And then I had to apologize for getting mad at him about shoving me into a wall. Every time that he would get me food, like he would insist on paying for my food because I'd always offer because he didn't have a job. But I'd always offer to pay for my food. He'd say absolutely not. And then whenever the food came, he'd get angry at me for spending money. And then whenever you would look at how much he spent or how much he's been spending on food for me, even though I always say that I'm going to pay for myself, he'll look at his card statements and stuff and get mad at me. When it was prom time, I told him that I wanted him to ask me to be his date to prom. And he said, yeah, of course I'll ask you. Why wouldn't I? A week from prom, I still hadn't been asked, so I asked him, hey, are you going to ask me to prom? I don't want to, get my hopes up. And he said, because you keep asking, it's making me want to do it less. The more that you ask me to do it, the less that I want to do it. And then he was like, no, I'm not going to ask you to prom. I don't want to do it anymore because you want me to do it. And then I ended up asking him to prom. I made a sign and everything. One time we were arguing because I saw something on his phone that I didn't like, I think. And then I told him, hey, don't go talking to your friends about this because I want to finish talking to you about this after school. And he was like, okay, I promise I won't tell a soul. And then he went and told his entire senior class plus one of my teachers. And then I was like, why would you tell them? He's like, I just needed someone to talk to, Annabelle. You don't ever listen to me. You just don't listen to anything that I say. I feel like I can never tell you anything because you're so judgy. And, I just think that you're gonna get mad at me. Why are we turning this around? I found something that I did not like because you weren't telling me something, and we're turning this around on me. And then he goes, Annabelle, I just need to confront you. And in the Bible, it says that I need to confront you with a witness. So what does he do? He pulls out his best friend that he is going to college with. He's in college with him right now, as we speak. And he says, I need him here
to confront you, because in the Bible it says that you need a witness when you're confronting someone. I am his girlfriend. We have been together for almost a year at this point. And then his friend is just sitting there while we're talking, and he goes, I can't ever tell you anything. Like, I just feel like I can never be myself around you. Mind you, he's manipulating me right now. And he goes, I just can never tell you anything. Like, I just feel so judged, and like, you're just gonna get mad at me when I tell you things. So I just lie, because it's better to lie about it than, tell you, because you're just gonna get mad. And then I said, well, I feel the same way. Like, I'm trying to relate to the guy. And I said, I feel the same way. I'm sorry. And he cut me off. He looks to his friend, and he goes, see, I told you she's crazy. That same day, we were in the parking lot, just like arguing. I was standing completely still. He's throwing his arms everywhere. My sister and her class are outside by the parking lot for athletics, and they're walking around seeing him just scream at me. And, he's saying that I'm a bad girlfriend, that I'm crazy, that we should just end it right now. And I said, okay, then let's end it. And I walked away, and he said, you walk away and we're effing done. And I said, okay. And I walked away. And then he said, okay, fine, we're done. You're crazy. And screaming at me in front of all these 7th and 8th graders. And then I walk back into my class. Not even 4 minutes later, he calls me and goes, did we really just break up? Please, I don't want to break up. Last one, but my makeup is done. On his senior trip, he decided to block me. Don't know why. And so I went and hung out with another guy, because I was like, okay, we're done. Like, I'm not doing this game. He literally blocked me. So I went and hung out with one of my friends, and then her boyfriend, and then his friend. And they all went to my school. And, I was hanging out with him. We kissed. Like, it's not anything. If, he blocked me, he literally said, we're done, and blocked me. So, no cheating there. And then when school, the senior trip was over and we went back to school, it was the very last day of school. And my ex found, I told him about it because we got back together, because he unblocked me and said, hey, I miss you, baby. Huh, okay. I guess we're not done. And then he comes back to school. Mind you, he's a senior, so he's in his senior stuff. And I told him about it, and he was so pissed. He was crying and sobbing and how could you do this to me? Okay. And then he is just staring the guy down all day, and told me that he wanted to him. And he was staring him down the whole day, just literally sitting by himself and just staring at him. It was very scary. And yeah, I low-key thought that something was going to happen, because he was a very scary person, and if he can shove me into a wall, he can do other stuff.
Okay, me and my best friend are going to do, confessions, so she's going to go first.
I pooped my pants when I was 10.
Oh. Okay, didn't know we were going like that. Confession. Okay, let me think of mine. Mine's kind of okay, mine's big. You have to be, ready for it.
Okay.
Okay, so, how I found out, my boyfriend had been on those dating websites, because I put his photo, in that one website, and it said he was on all these dating sites.
Mm-hmm.
I found out who he's been cheating on me with.
Who?
You.
What?
Yeah, don't play dumb. Don't play dumb, and don't smile either, because I know.
I'm not.
I literally went through. I went through his phone, and y'all have been texting.
That's not true.
You're legit my best friend, and you're texting my boyfriend.
It's not. Your little website's wrong.
It's not, because it's not.
It is wrong. I wouldn't do that to you.
Well, you did, so.
No, I didn't.
Get out.
Whatever.